But
so we had a theory on this podcast. I didn't want to say this earlier on, but I'll say it anyway now. We have a theory that women give each other very destructive advice, very bad advice.
Yeah.
Because I find it interesting how when you gave your strategy on how you would retain a boyfriend, you were like, I'm going to pledge my allegiance to him. I'm not going to talk to nobody else. I'm not going to text him. But when she gave you behavior that was contradictory to that, you enabled it instead of saying, hey.
I necessarily didn't enable it, but okay.
You absolutely did. Versus like telling her, hey, if you want a guy to take you seriously, you probably shouldn't do that. So instead you reconfirmed her bad behavior, like, oh yeah, do you, boo? Which this isn't a knock on you, but we've had 3,000 plus girls on the show now at this point. Much. And one thing we've noticed is that women give each other terrible fucking advice. And it's interesting because you compared and contrasted it to your behavior, and you said, oh yeah, no, if I got a man, I'm only talking to him.
I feel like immature women.
See the issue here?
I feel like immature women give women bad advice.
I'm never going to say immature. I'm just going to say you guys give each other inherently bad advice anyway.
What good advice do y'all give each other if you want to discriminate and like talk about how we give each other advice?
A lot to men.
So here's the difference between men and women. Mm-hmm. If I give you bad advice, no, trust me, I'm going to explain right now. Mm-hmm. If I give you bad advice, right, you're not able to see the validity of the advice because you're going to get male attention no matter what.
No, yeah, of course.
However, if I give a man bad advice, he's going to deal with consequences with the said bad advice.
Yep.
Whether he doesn't get the girl, he gets rejected, gets made fun of, gets curved, gets used. We basically get real feedback when we fuck up. And you guys don't. And here's the other thing too. You guys have so many options and so many suckers out there and simps where they don't give you real feedback when you fuck up. I'll give you an example. You're on a date with a guy. He's charming, he's handsome, etc. And you might admit some things you shouldn't have admitted. Maybe you talk about an ex in jail, maybe a baby, maybe you have a boyfriend that you catch in a club, right? Maybe prior domestic situation, or
could be anything.
You used to live in Nashville. I don't fucking know. The point is, you disclose something. The guy is gonna play it cool and act like he didn't hear shit. But in the back of his mind, he's like, all right, I'm gonna have sex with this girl and I'm only gonna have sex with her. I'm never gonna take her seriously. But you guys don't learn this until 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months later. And you're like, why aren't we? What are we? And what you don't know is in the first week he met you, he already disqualified you as a real partner.
Yep.
So this is the problem with women, is that you guys don't learn until it's too fucking late because you don't get real-time feedback on your fuck-ups. And I would argue a big reason why you don't get real-time feedback is you guys give each other terrible advice like you just did just now. And I'm not using this, right, to shit on you because all girls do it. It's kind of like an acceptance thing. Girls have like this very strong need to feel accepted by society. So you guys will say and do things that's contradictory to your worldviews to be accepted by the herd. It's like a female nature thing. Because you guys got to remember that we're programmed from a millennia of like existing on Earth. Women can't fend for themselves and fight off animals and shit. You need a group. You need a men, right? So we still have these hardwired traits. So all humans want to be accepted, but with women, it's even more so. That's why, I don't know if you guys noticed, we asked you guys, would you prefer the guy that makes 500K or 50K? Once a majority of you started saying 50K, all the other girls started saying 50K.
Yep.
If you caught on to that.
Well, I was thinking it from the get. If you would have asked me, that would have still been my answer first.
That's fine. Again, this is not about you.
But they have
this is about
reason.
Women in general, how they behave in groups.
But they have different reason behind that choice.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it varies with the girls because there's some girls that they actually care, but then there are other girls that are destructive and will give you terrible advice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say, you guys are honing in on the terrible advice too much. The terrible advice is a symptom of the problem. The problem is wanting to be accepted. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're around a bunch of women that you don't know or a group of people, your need to feel accepted is going to dictate your behaviors. Mm-hmm. And for you to be accepted a lot of the times, that means appealing to that individual's ego, even if it's counterproductive to your worldview, like you just saw now. Oh, I'm going to be on FaceTime. I ain't texting nobody else. But when she gave you a contradictory view, you reaffirmed it. It's a natural inkling that women have. We've noticed this by interviewing thousands of you guys, that women just have this herd mentality of, I'm going to do what everyone else does. Because women are naturally followers. You guys aren't. You guys don't lead revolutions. No offense, but
Let me
that's just
know
how
when
it
you're
goes.
done.
Huh?
I said, let me know when you're
I'm
done.
done. What do you got to respond to that? Go
Shut
ahead.
up, bitch!
Honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't agree with you. Like, I do. But at the end of the day,
Here's the butt.
of course, there always is. This one has 2 T's. But anyways, what I was trying to say is, like, yeah, you may perceive it as being bad advice, but however, even if the advice is good or not, it's up to the person to take it. Because how many times can you go and tell somebody not to be with somebody, or not to be a cheating asshole, or a hoe on 49th Street, whatever? Point is like, how many times are you gonna tell somebody something and then have them actually, like, listen?
This is your first time meeting her.
Huh? No, yeah, but I'm saying in general, you know that saying, like, oh, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So that same thing goes with advice. It's up to you to take it.
You're honing in on the advice too much. I just used the advice example to demonstrate that women have a natural inclination to feel accepted within a group. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you're looking at it from here. I'm looking at it from the root level. You said what you said to feel accepted by the group. It's a natural human tendency. It's just that it's way more
I wasn't
prevalent.
trying to do it to be accepted. but okay.
You naturally did it just
It's
because.
subconscious. You
I
don't
mean,
realize.
you don't even. Yeah, it's subconscious. You didn't even know. She's like, oh, I love you, girl.
Yeah,
You didn't even catch yourself saying
Yeah.
that.
We got you.
But you guys understand? I fucking study y'all. Like, I know more about the female psyche than women do. I've interviewed thousands of you guys. I know more than most psychologists now at this point from talking to so many women. Like, you guys are on a different wavelength when it comes to social things. You guys have certain cues and behaviors that it's subconscious. You don't even notice it. You had to go ahead and make the conversation more comfortable by saying, oh yeah, I love you, girl, blah, 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 before you say something. You have to kind of preface your statement if it's contradictory with some type of comforting language. This is what women do. It's always been that way. You know, girls don't criticize each other. If you have a fat friend, you're not going to tell her, hey, you fat, you look like shit. You're going to tell her, oh, girl, I have this dress. It'll look great on you. You know what I mean? You guys like kind of massage things.
Sugarcoat.
Indirectly.
This is why Trump was so divisive with females, because they didn't like the way he spoke and how kind of matter of fact and crude he was.
Straightforward, yeah.
Because women are more concerned with the way information is conveyed versus the information that's conveyed. Does that make sense? So if I talk to a guy and I say, you're a fucking loser, you need to lose weight, a lot of guys, if it's true, aren't going to be that mad, especially if it's coming from a person that's doing better than them. But you guys don't think that way. Hey, you're a dumb, you need to go back to school or something.
You want to fight?
Oh, what the fuck? I don't like your tone, blah, blah, blah. Like, you guys don't have a recognition of hierarchy. So if someone more successful and established gives you advice, but they give you the advice in a way that you don't like, you're going to disqualify the advice. But if I give advice to a man, and I give it in a tone that might not be as respectful, but I'm coming from a position of authority, he will receive it, accept it, and probably follow it. Versus women will disqualify the information altogether because they don't like the way it was said. So women are more concerned with how information is conveyed. Men are interested in information that is conveyed. Very different.